Welcome to TransformHer, the show where we ignite audacity and break barriers, equipping African women with tangible resources and practical insights for their journey to the C-suite or as A-list entrepreneurs, so that together we can usher in a new era of inclusive leadership that is bound to change the African continent and the world at large. My name is Ifoma Williams. I'm your transformative guide on this journey. And we'll be right back after this short break. Welcome back. On this episode, we will be discussing the art of experience, how strategic innovation drives business success. And I'm in the studio today with a great lady. She is the Director of Sales and Marketing at Eko Hotel and Suites, Nigeria's premier corporate hospitality brand, Dr. Iyadunni Atinuke Gbadebo. Welcome, Doctor.
Thank you very much, Ifoma. Thank you.
The first thing I want to say is congratulations.
Thank you.
So, ladies, I'm very big on, one day I'll be a PhD holder. And congratulations again.
Thank you.
You know,
Thank
for
you.
me, right, when people who do not have actual PhDs call themselves doctor from honorary doctorate degrees, it really drives me nuts.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the same way I say to people as a lawyer that don't confuse your Google research with my law degree.
Of course.
And so congratulations. For me, it truly is a big deal.
Thank you very much, Ifoma.
What I find most fascinating about you is the number of things you do. You are the founder and owner of
Teta
Ayu Spa.
Right.
What you did last Christmas. I don't know if you saw around Lagos the tropical Christmas wonderland and the Hakuna Matata theme park. So the brains behind all of this is Dr. Iyadunni Gbadebo. There's just too much to glean from you. But let's start. So how in the world have you combined these multiple sectors? Your career spans media, hospitality, entrepreneurship. Just how have you done it? And why have you decided, you know?
Yes. Well, firstly, again, thank you very much, Ifoma. I know you say all these nice, fancy things about me, but you know what? I've read a little bit about you, and I'm as fascinated about you as you are about me.
Thank you
Thank you very much for having me on this show. One of the conversations that you and I had before coming here was that I'm always shying away from, you know, anything that brings one to the limelight, talking about, you know, especially where you have a gathering of too many women, and I pick and choose the kinds of things and places that I find myself. But TransformHer is something that is very important, especially today. And your program is one of my New Year's resolutions.
Oh, wow.
That I would be more intentionally active in doing things in spaces that position women for the future. So thank you for having me here. I thought I might just do a little bit of a twist on that introduction, just to drop that, because it's important to highlight women that are doing amazing things for other women and creating platforms for them.
Thank you.
Why am I into so many things? Well, I think the first thing there is to say that women are very, very, very multifaceted. And I think that we have an innate capacity to multitask. But having said that, there's also the hunger to succeed. My upbringing is very interesting. I come from a very small, very close-knit, well, I won't call it small, I say small but big, close-knit family. And in there, women, the women in my family are very, very driven individuals. I mean, all of us are, but the women most importantly. And there's something that I think I realized after I turned 40, that, you know, nothing happens to a woman by chance. I think that a lot of what has been driving me is that deep-rooted feeling to impress myself, and to sort of show that I too can become something. I'm worthy of being somebody, and I can be everything that I want to be. That drive and that passion. And again, I say to you that I realized that after I turned 40, that a lot of that was tied to the kind of background that I had, especially the part of it that didn't have a father figure. Like my father was very absent in my life. And I think I spent the last 40 years just sort of trying to, for whatever time and place where I find him, let him find me being an accomplished woman and regretting everything that he missed out on in trying to form the woman that I am today.
Fantastic.
That's the background of it. But yes, I am involved in a lot of things because I have a very high taste in life. And, you need a lot of money to be able to feed that insatiable desire to just have the good things of life. But I'm also very, my hands and my head are good at, just creating things and just making money out of things. I think there's a lot of grace in that. I put it all down to the grace of God, but also that hunger to just be an achiever without compromising on the things that should not be compromised on, as it is
you
in
need
a
to
lot
hold
of...
that thought.
Yes.
What we do on TransformHer is, as our women,
Yes.
guest speakers like yourself are releasing pearls of wisdom. We don't want to lose the moment.
Okay.
They become teachable moments for
Yes.
the audience watching. Iyadunni, mind if I call you
Please.
that? So Iyadunni says that she is into many things because she has a taste for the finer things in life. And she's not willing to compromise to get those things. What she's willing to do is work hard.
Correct.
She's willing to earn from more than one stream of income. And so she's put her creative juices to use. She says that it's about impressing herself and saying to herself that she can be everything that she wants to be.
That's
she
right.
also spoke about that her father was absent in her life. But it's not, she didn't, sink into victim mode. I didn't have my dad. That's why she said, no. I'm going to be all I can be so that whenever he sees me, he'll be full of regrets that he was not part of my life. Wow, that is fascinating. So your career spans multiple sectors. There's media, there's aviation, there's hospitality, there's entrepreneurship. For somebody like me, my own thought process is such that I can only handle one thing at a time. I mean, I might do more than one thing.
Yes.
So I'd like to know, did you transition from one thing to the other, or you did them simultaneously? There's this notion of multipreneur.
Yes.
Right? What's your take?
So to answer that question, and just for the sole purpose that this is a TransformHer platform,
Yes.
I want to explain my response in a way that you can, sort of understand it. I would say that my core competence is in sales and marketing. But even that was not intentional. My first degree was in theater and performing arts.
Oh, wow.
And I studied theater and I think that I am the only one, at least in my set, that was intentional about studying theater and performing arts at the University of Lagos. Because I remember at the time, I had gotten admission for, I think it was mass communications or international relations. But I really, really wanted to study theater because that's what I wanted. And everybody that I went to in admission or whatever would not change me because they thought I was crazy. Why do you have mass comm and why? Because of course at the time, everybody going into theater was, they didn't get this course or that course and they just dump you in there. So I think it was a little away from the norm.
Okay.
And in there, my passion is performing arts, right?
Okay.
And so I used to act, I used to dance, I used to write plays, I used to direct plays in Unilag, right,
Wow.
as a student. And I was very good at what I did, but my entrepreneurial side was Unilag auditorium would not make me the kind of money that's commensurate to the kind of effort that I put into this. So the intention at the time was to move it to like a Muson Center at the time because, National Theatre was non-existent really. And in order to be able to move from Unilag auditorium to, a Muson center, you need money. So I had to look for sponsorship. And this was where the sales and marketing hunger got fed.
Wow.
So in university, I think it was my 4th year, I was headhunted to run the sales and marketing department of a company called North American Airlines. It was their first attempt at bringing direct flights into Lagos, into Nigeria, from Lagos to the States.
Okay.
And we used to fly directly to New York at the time. It was a charter operation that was trying its hands at, getting into the Nigerian aviation market. And at the time, some of the people that I had gone to meet for sponsorship were my direct target audience. So when I was getting interviewed for that job, I was dropping names of people who could give them money and who could buy direct flights, the oil and gas people, because those are the people who could pay for me to move from Unilag to Muson Center. So I think sales and marketing was by chance, but I'll say in the last 21 years, I have grown to seeing that the most important part of a business and people in a business are the people that bring the money. And I want it to be that. And I spent a lot of time, resources, and effort in ensuring that I rose, broke whatever ceiling there was to break, because, anything in my way just wasn't going to be in my way. And yeah, I have been selling and marketing and business developing since then in various industries. From there, I went to, from North American, I think I went to the airport. Dr. Wale Babalaki, my previous boss, by Courtney Aviation Services, had headhunted me to start, just generating revenue for the airport, because at the time, he had a BOT with the federal government, and, generating revenue was quite difficult because all the airlines weren't coming through that way. So we had to find non-aeronautical revenue generating streams, and I was selling everything, and yeah.
I love it.
So this was me. And from there, I finished that job and I started my business, BGV Consulting, because at the time I also had a lot of connects with the corporate world.
Okay.
And I had direct access to CEOs of, corporate organizations. And, I was consulting for them. I was working very closely with the Trade and Investment Department of the British High Commission, and a lot of the British businesses that were looking for affiliations and partnerships in Nigeria. I was sort of, connecting the dots in there. And yes, I've been in Eko Hotel for the last 14 years.
Wow.
It was supposed to be a 1-year contract, but, I had a mission there. And I think 14 years after, I am just getting to achieving that mission.
So did you hear that? 14 years after, she's just getting to achieving the mission. This is a woman who, by the way, she's a great akokite.
Yes, so that's right.
Yeah, so you see the product that comes out of our school. That's an episode for another day. But this is someone who says whatever ceiling was in her way, she broke.
Yeah.
But there's something that came out of this story for me. It was Iyadunni's intentionality.
That's right.
There was a clear vision. I'm moving from Unilag Auditorium onto Muson Center. Did you know that the very innovative, what was it called? Tropical Christmas Wonderland.
Yes.
And the magical Hakuna Matata theme park are brainchildren of Dr. Gbadebo. It brings me to my next question, innovation as a revenue engine. So at Eko Hotel, you've pioneered these groundbreaking events. How did you identify the need for such innovations?
Well, to be honest with you, I would say that I think the hotel itself, is built, whether intentionally or unintentionally, is built to be more than a hotel. With 850 rooms across 4 hotels, with the sheer landed property that the hotel is sitting on, and the mere fact that juxtaposed to that, you're in a country and a state where you don't have a lot going on in terms of drawing in tourist opportunities, for people who are looking critically at Africa, the sun in Africa, the madness of Africa, the number of people, and the vibrant, very unique nature of particularly Nigerians, of course, and then in general, Africans. I think that Eco Hotel is positioned already, even without me being there, to be the hub that ignites the tourist potential of Lagos State. And rightfully so. Right next to us is a massive city called Eco Atlantic City that would be the future, if you ask me, in the next couple of years. With everything going on in the city today, there's no way all the conferences and exhibitions that happen in South Africa shouldn't be coming to Nigeria. So there are many things, there are many reasons why Tropical Christmas Wonderland had to happen. I mean, I think for me, it was a case of, speaking to my management and saying, in the next forecasting and saying in the next couple of years, we're going to be in a place where it wouldn't be about corporate business. The economic indices was already showing that we were running into some turbulent time, that we will be running into some turbulent time. And we needed to be prepared for that. If the corporate business will dwindle for whatever reason, what's the plan B? So the leisure business became very attractive because there's not a lot of it. You would find that most of us think about a holiday and think London, America, Dubai. And even Dubai is not interested in us anymore. You can see everything that's going on, with how strict they're getting with their, visa application processes and things like that. The UK is cold and it's miserable. It's not a holiday, and our economy is not looking like the naira will stand a chance to the pound or to the dollar. So if we didn't start thinking internally, we were just going to run into an absolute loss. And because we're such resilient people, we would find the money to keep traveling abroad at the detriment of our own country's economic growth.
Yes.
And that seemed to me like a disaster. It was a recipe for disaster. And so I have very forward-thinking ownership in Eco Hotel, and a board that listens. And they are very interested in growing Nigeria's economy. For whatever reason, they are vested. So it was an easy sell. It was a question of, it was long coming, but an easy sell at the time when the conversation became critical, just pre-COVID. And shortly after COVID hit. So we had trademarked the name Tropical Christmas Wonderland. The idea was to create packages that would allow people leave the idea of traveling abroad and spending the dollar and spending that money here, but getting more in value and experience being the key word.
What is your leadership philosophy for motivating, for harnessing potential? How are you managing your very diverse staff across your various departments?
One of the very interesting things that I find about Eco Hotel and working for the last 14 years there is that there's intentionality with putting the right kind of people in the helms of affairs, right? And so you find that it is very difficult for you to have, for instance, a boss like me, in sales and marketing, and come to work trying to be basic. It just doesn't work, And I think that sort of dovetails across all the other departments.
So you see, ladies, if you are listening, leadership is deliberate. This business is deliberate. Eco Hotel is deliberate. So on the outside you go, the standard has remained the same. They're the kings of hospitality and have held that position for many years. It's because leadership is deliberate. So it brings me to my final question. Tell us, how have you dealt with your most ruthless blow? As a parting word to the audience.
First of all, I'm not sure that there's anything in my life that gives any opportunity to a blow. Everything that has a semblance of a blow is part of the journey that I'm taking. And I don't see the blow. I see yet another problem in front of me. What's the solution to it? Is identify that it is a problem. What's the solution to this problem? And move right on from it. Because there's never going to be a time and a place at every point in life that challenges will not come. So if you I say to my team, I wear them in my high heels and I walk on them with grace.
Wow.
Because that's exactly what it is. If you do not see a problem as a problem, the problem will find another person who accepts problems as a way of life. I just simply don't. It doesn't exist. And just to give you practical examples of that, because I don't like the pastor preaching philosophy to coaching or mentoring. So give you a typical example. I said to you that, the idea for Tropical Christmas Wonderland was long coming, and it's a conversation that we've been having. A hotel is a hotel, and we're not into curating events or doing. We're not in the business of curating events. We're selling space, we're selling rooms, and that's it. But to convince my board that are experts in businesses, globally, and me, who am I? I see them as a project. I just needed to show them and prove to them that this thing is not about Iyadunni coming to you with an idea. It is something that we can make serious money out of. But in addition to money, it's something that can change the trajectory of our brand equity.
Wow.
And keep us as leaders in the industry. Because you can be a leader today, but competition comes every second of the day.
Wow.
Remaining a leader is a different kettle of fish. And again, that was a problem. 5 years down the line, Tropical Christmas Wonderland is hosting over 4,000 guests from all over the world. People are begging for rooms in December.
Oh, wow, that's phenomenal.
Last year, we did a circus. We did 2 Broadway-style theater productions. Oh, wow. And I kid you not, comparable globally, with all the odds against us. We did it outside without all the equipment that you need. But that in itself is what makes it Nigerian Broadway musical.
I like how you put it.
Yeah.
If you listen to Iyadunni, she said she doesn't quite see the challenges. What she sees are opportunities. Ladies,
Absolutely.
This is another teachable moment as we round up.
Yes.
Your mindset is very key. You see, most of the ladies who come on this show, when we ask them about their lessons from the trenches or their battle scars, they tell you, yes, we've been through this, but this is how we saw it.
Yes.
When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change.
Absolutely.
It's been amazing. Thank you so much for coming on TransformHer. I hope you come back again. There's a lot to talk about.
I honestly think, Ifoma, that you need to take it one topic at a time with me, because there's a lot to share.
So you're definitely
especially because of the women who look at the finished product.
Yes.
And aspire for the finished product.
Yes.
They don't have benefit of
hindsight.
And it's a problem for women today.
So you're coming back?
Whenever you invite me, I would gladly oblige.
For sure. So
gladly.
You heard, she's coming back, and we're going to be telling you tales from behind the scenes that will help you on your entrepreneurship journey.
Yes.
Please stay tuned for the next segment, which is our coaching segment. Welcome to this coaching segment of TransformHer. Today, we're going to be discussing the very important topic of personality versus technical expertise. Which is more important for career advancement? To answer this question, we will unpack, as I usually say, each of these components, if you like. So, personality. The role of personality, it influences workplace relationships. Personality is your person and the attitude that you exude as a person. Now, we know that people do not buy products and services, they actually buy people. Personality affects your leadership potential because of your ability to communicate effectively. Personality enhances networking and influence. If as a leader you have a great personality and attitude, you would wield influence appropriately. Most importantly, it helps you build a very strong personal brand. And it's the memorability of that strong brand that makes you a great leader. But technical expertise is not left out, and it has a very important role. First of all, it speaks to your credibility and expertise. That's what we call practical wisdom. And that's why the word technical is included, because it is specific to a particular, field of study or career path. It's essential for competency in a role. It provides problem-solving ability. It also supports innovation and efficiency. So, the big question, which matters more? So, personality drives leadership, influence, and career mobility. While technical expertise is crucial, but it is not sufficient. Now, wise leaders usually blend both effectively. But here are some very interesting facts. Did you know that emotional intelligence is the strongest predictor of workplace success? And that's by a Harvard study, by the way. Oprah Winfrey built an entire empire on emotional intelligence and excellent branding. Now picture this. Steve Wozniak is or was the technical expert, but Steve Jobs was the visionary leader. Therefore, I posit to you that technical skills might get you in the door, but personality helps you rise. Until next time, goodbye.